Welcome back everyone. Now let's talk about some of the Visual Studio Code extensions for Playwright, which can help us to learn the Playwright better and faster. Okay, so let's get started. So previously we have installed couple extensions in our Visual Studio Code while we were learning the fundamentals and essential JavaScript topics. Okay, so we have installed extensions like Code Runner, File Icon Team, JavaScript code snippet, pretty format, and also the better command, those extensions, right? So this Visual Studio Code extensions, they are needed to enhance the editor's capabilities, because at the end of the day, the Visual Studio Code is not an IDE, it's a code editor. To make it work like an IDE, like an integrated development environment, we do install the extensions. Okay, so then those extensions, it can give lots of capabilities to IDE, to the code editor, to work like an IDE. Okay, and we have installed those extensions already for the JavaScript programming, and next we are going to install some more extensions that will be needed for our Playwright automations. Okay, so overall these are the recommended VS Code extensions for this course. Okay, the first 4 of them, also including the spatter commands, those extensions we already have installed. Next, we need to install the remaining, such as NPM, NPM IntelliSense, NPM Run, Playwright Test for VS Code, Playwright Snippet, Playwright Test Snippets, Cucumber Gherkins. Okay, these are the extensions that we're gonna install now. And make sure that you already have installed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those 60 extensions already. If you go to your Visual Studio Code, under this extensions tab, under this install section, you should have those 6 extensions already. Okay, and the remaining extensions, the NPM, NPM IntelliSense, NPM Run, these extensions, we will use them to mostly to manage the NPM packages, commands, etc. So please find those extensions and install them. So here in the search bar, if you just type for NPM, okay, so this is one extension that you need. You need to install this. And then you also need this NPM IntelliSense. Please also install this one as well. So those 2 are installed already. And then also another recommended extension is NPM Run. So this extension basically makes it easier for us to run specific scripts. Okay, we're gonna save some scripts that can help us to run the Playwright test. After we save those scripts, we will be able to use this extension to run them. So make sure you also install this NPM Run extension. Okay, so you just click the install button and it installs afterwards. And then next one is Playwright Test for VS Code. So I need you to find this extension, Playwright Test, or just type for Playwright. Okay, by default, the first extension should be Playwright Test for VS Code. For now, make sure you uncheck this auto updates, because later on there's a specific version of this extension that I will be recommending you to install. That time it's going to be needed. Okay, so for now, make sure uncheck this checkbox and then click this install to install this extension. And after this Playwright Test for VS Code is installed, next you are going to need Playwright Snippets. So please find the extension Playwright Snippets. Okay, so this one, Playwright Snippets, this is the one that you need to install. And you click this install button for this one. And then next is Playwright Test Snippets. Those 2 extensions, they're mostly used for making our Playwright test script generation. It's going to make it easier for us to generate the Playwright scripts. We can use some of the shortcuts to generate the Playwright scripts faster by using those extensions. So we have this Playwright Test Snippets as well, that Playwright Test Snippets. This one, Playwright Test Snippets. Yes, I also want you to install this extension too. And then afterwards, later on during the project implementation week, we are going to need this extension, because you will be working on Playwright BDD framework. And this extension, it has the full support for the Cucumber. Okay, so I need you to find this extension, Cucumber Gherkins. If you just search for cucumber, this is the one, okay? Make sure you check the logo of that extension. Make sure it's matching with what we have on our presentation slide. And then you need to click this install button, okay? After installing all those extensions, I want you to click this button to refresh the extensions link. And then when you go back to the extensions window one more time, you should have those 13 extensions that should be available, okay? And then you also have this testing window that will pop up here, as well as node dependencies window, okay? These windows, we're gonna talk about them in our future videos. So now our goal is to make sure that we do have those 13 extensions that are installed. And then later on, of course, for this extension, we are going to be installing a specific version, because lately, the latest version of this extension is having some problems. The one that is usually more stable is when you click this drop down button right next to this uninstall button, you see you have this install specific version, right? When you click it, it is going to give you these versions that are available. So for me personally, I think the most stable version is 1.0.22. This version of this extension is more stable. It follows the global configuration of our Playwright as it is. So therefore, I recommend you to make sure you select this version as well. Of course, in the future video, I will explain why. So for now, if you are after installing this extension, I need you to click this and then select install specific version, and then select this option 1.0.22. Or you can also click the settings button, okay? If you have the install specific version options under the settings, you can also click it. So here you can click this and install specific version, and these are the versions that are available. So this version I want you to install. So select this version, okay? And then restart the extensions, yes. All right. Now, since you uncheck this auto update, it's not going to update it to the latest one. So this is the version that I will be using as well during this course. But again, to run the Playwright, we don't necessarily have to depend on this extension. There is also other ways to run the Playwright test. This extension just simply makes it easier for us to run the Playwright test, okay? So this is the version. Remember, this is the version I recommend you to install, version 1.0.22. And after installing those extensions, please refresh this one more time. Refresh the extensions window one more time. 13 extensions are installed. And this Visual Studio Code tend to have some problems usually, okay? So to make sure that all those extensions, everything works well, you need to restart your Visual Studio Code. So make sure you close your Visual Studio Code and restart it, okay? And then afterwards, all those extensions, they should work as expected. Thank you so much, everyone. See you all in the next video.